I need my big hexagonal block of solid bronze. Brass. If I were to lose that, I would be very, very unhappy. Okay, it's not there. It's not there. It should be right. It's not in the pocket over there. It should be right here somewhere within my brass. Let's put this over there. Let's put this up there. Let's put this there. Loop, loop. Drugs. Glass. Glass. Candle. Styrofoam. There it is, right here. This thing. So this thing is shaped as a trough here. And you set the bent nib into the trough. And then you get your burnisher and you press down as hard as you can against the back of the nib. And if you do it correctly, you will straighten out the offending curves and bends. And it's still, the sides are better looking than they were. The nib still has a sort of look to it. I don't know how to do a 3D scan of it. It's a very simple thing to make. The hexagon with holes in the side. Each hole is a different diameter. Some is a different diameter, and you use that for knocking out the feeds. And this thing here, this trench, is only a half of a cone, I guess. So it's rounded at the bottom, but it's tapered. So the further out you go, the wider it is. And I suspect that this might have, I don't think this would work for number 8 nib. That's broken. But it works for some nibs. Let's see if I can find another broken nib here. Another nib that had trauma to it. There's one that did have trauma, but it cost me back in the bin. But anyway, that's how this works. So if, for example, someone stepped on your nib, and this one here looks like it was stepped on, it's a little flap up there. There's my loop. So it seems a little flat. So what I would do is I put this in here, get this, press down as hard as I can right there by the breather hole and to the point. You don't want to press down on the iridium. You have to not go quite that far. Doesn't look all that different. This nib might write perfectly fine anyway, just by itself. But this nib 2 seems to be a little bit up, pointing up in this thing. It's another Waterman ideal. Waterman 2 nib. So again, here's where I would use the burnisher. Try to make that point look more straight out, not bent. Sometimes I do need to use the nib pliers. If one nib is, one tine is bent up, sometimes I can use burnisher, but sometimes I have to use the nib pliers. Still feels a little odd, but it might work perfectly fine in a pen. And if I find a nib that might look a little funky, but still works perfectly fine, I'm going to just let it look funky. Another Waterman ideal. This is a funny nib on this one. This is very firm. Big chunk of iridium on it, though. This goes in these late style, this era Waterman. Here's another nib that looks flattened. So I'm going to try this with burnisher, just to make it look a little bit more rounded. This is a warranted nib of some sort. And there's something about it that looks a little bit cheap. How dare I say that? It's a Waterman. The heck? Is this Waterman? It's a late Waterman. It does look like it was flattened somehow. Yeah, it's screwy with it. I don't really know what kind of pen this belongs in. I think it's the later 40s era Stately or whatever they were called. I don't know. It may work with the tempering, I don't know. This is a ready point. Another ready point. What is this? Yep. God, there's a lot of Waterman nibs in this bucket. Very firm Waterman. Another Waterman. This is a number 10 nib. Number 10, Edward, maybe Todd. And what? This doesn't make any sense to me. Why would they call this a number 10? And when did they call it that? That looks like someone's number 5. Holy. Yeah, some of these pen nibs in this bucket were put there for a reason. And then it just ended up dumping all sorts of nibs in them without a particular reason. Oh. This is a Wall Oxford. Doing that in Eversharp. Does this look like fun? Another Waterman. Rigid. Another Waterman. 2A nib. Okay, what is the question? This is a Waterman. Look at this poor nib. Shove that to the back. Put that in the scrap pile.